Greetings, visionaries. This is your host, the INFJ Visionary. And the topic of today's broadcast, I guess, is love. We're going to make it love. I got part of the way through a video I was listening to at lunch the other day. It was directed to INTJs and INFJs, and it said that it asked the musical question whether we were difficult to love or not, and primarily it was talking about the sort of barriers and protections that we end up putting up between ourselves and other people, and how this can be a barrier to intimate relationships. And I think there's something to it, and I think we're going to explore this idea a little bit. Although I didn't get through that entire video, sometimes I'll admit maybe you have this issue as well, where someone in the video will bring up a point or an idea and then just keep hammering at it over and over. And I suspect this has got something to do with the short attention span of modern human beings. Maybe they're multitasking so much that they're not getting things, but you don't need to worry as much about that here with your host, the INFJ Visionary, because we all know that I just move from point to point, but I do like to circle back. And I think one of the reasons I didn't get all the way through that video is I'm very hesitant to take in material that posits us as being overly special, although honestly I know that we are different. I've even got a video called Born Different. So I just don't think it's a good idea to be too precious about things or to be too codified about things. The fact is that we have tendencies, but I have people in my life that love me and that I love, and even the people that aren't really in my life, I have love for them. I have love for everyone, pretty much. There's the people that I really don't have much love for would be people that are selfish, fat controllers, the ones that feel like it's a good idea to have more than anyone could ever possibly want. Or what's even worse than that is they think it's a great idea to have power over other people. But you know what? To be honest, I still have a love for those people. I just don't like it. I don't approve of their behavior. How about that? But getting back to the thing that you're probably maybe more interested in is especially let's just say you don't have love. You're looking for love, and maybe I'm getting a reputation here as the visionary that's telling you to leave your room and go to the coffee shop and waste your money on expensive coffees. The thing is, oh wow, I saw the most interesting video, Generation Z, and the guy was saying that there's so much less young people than when someone like me was a kid. There was a lot more people my age around. And so many less opportunities, to say, get into madcap type trouble and things like that. Because everyone's got a phone. Everything you do is being recorded. But I would caution anybody, he has a lot of valid points, obviously. They're all nominally true. But the greater truth is that you need to watch the mental framework that you are accepting about any aspect of reality, especially if you are looking for love, you're looking for somebody in your life, and you deserve to have somebody in your life, INFJ. You totally do, because you are really, I'm not blowing smoke up your keister either here. You are really very awesome, and you would make a great partner for the right person. Now, a lot of times we can end up with people that aren't the right people. There's a lot of It's no secret. I think C.S. Joseph called us out for one of our what is the INFJ sin is the sin of lust and covetousness, right? So there's more than a few INFJs, especially let's face it, you could use your ability to your extroverted feeling ability to read situations and find that kind of love. But the problem with that, of course, is like, at least from my experience, if you're engaging in just physical, shenanigans or what have you, people too do get attached, and people will tend to get attached to you, and then you're going to have to be a hurtful person if they're not the one that you want to hang out with. The policy that I adopted, hold on, I'm going to sniffle a little bit here. Policy that I solidly adopted after a lot of midlife, dating around and stuff, was that I wasn't going to date anybody that I didn't think was marriageable, that I didn't really feel like hanging out with and talking to. And that's the primary thing. You can find a lot of other ways to build mutual attraction, but if somebody isn't cool to hang out with, then you've got a real problem. So let's get to the real meat, to the real crux of it. How do you do that in the modern world with all the challenges? Well, first of all, you need to be open to the possibility that love is in your future, that it's coming your way. You don't have to believe a bunch of specific ideas, and that's the other thing. You don't put time parameters on things, but anticipate and expect that you will be finding love and connection with somebody. And take to heart the advice I gave you about the physical connection, because don't waste your time with people that you only have a physical attraction to but don't like hanging out with, because there'll be heartbreak in one way or another. And this is a great truth about life and reality, is if you have somebody in your life, they're taking up space in your life. And if they're not the right person, it's going to be very difficult for you to find the right person. Now, let's just assume that you just have problems getting together with anyone, much less, just hooking up or whatever. What you do is you find a way to get interested in some sort of hobby. There's a lots of different things you can do. You can volunteer to do things. You can get a part-time job. I think the part-time job is often a good way to go, depending. But don't be too conditional in your mind, like, oh no, I only want this, I only want that. You need to open yourself up, and you need to get out into the world. And then you can let the universe line things up for you. But it's going to be very difficult for the universe to line things up for you if you're just sitting in your room and you're not leaving the house, or you're just having like two-dimensional digital communications and interactions. You're interacting with digital friends, and you know what the problem is with the digital friends. They come and they go. As intense and meaningful as those interactions and relationships can be, um, they're very, they just blow away and turn into nothing. I've been at this a long time on the old internet. I was there before the internet, and I'm still here. And I have zero interest in social media at all, because I don't think it brings out the best part of us. So I don't recommend that as a place. And I think a lot of humans are waking up to this reality, especially as the digital realm is becoming increasingly, I don't want to say polluted, because I got nothing against the AI or their products, but it's becoming increasingly dominated by non-human entities and their products. And one thing they can't do is get out and just talk to people. And I want to reiterate, I said this at the last video as well. You may think you're having a meaningful relationship with an AI, and it is meaningful to you, but the love you're putting out cannot be reciprocated. So you need to get out of the house, maybe go for that job, maybe just go for a walk, and until I see you again, Take good care.